There's tremendous crime with the people that are coming into this country, and that includes when some come in legal. We have to bring in the right people. You know, it shouldn't just be by like a lottery system.
Donald Trump funded 5 of those 8 members of the Gang of 8 pushing for amnesty.
Double-minded man, unstable in all his ways.
Now, you don't get to pretend to be opposed to amnesty when you're funding the people who are fighting for amnesty.
Well, that was Donald Trump and Ted Cruz discussing immigration. Trump propelled to the forefront of this GOP race after advocating for stronger immigration policies. We all know it, building the wall and so forth. But according to Numbers USA, it's an immigration restriction group. They say Donald Trump's immigration policies are good, but they only gave him a B+. On the other hand, they gave Ted Cruz an A. Meanwhile, a brand new Fox News poll shows GOP primary voters in Florida support setting up a system for illegal immigrants to actually become legal. But only 33%, in fact, favor deportation. Back with me, Steve Forbes, Georgette Mosbacher, and Mark Serrano. Georgette, who do you think is going to be strongest on this? I mean, we know the rhetoric, but who do you think actually has the right ideas and policies that could be implemented and work?
Well, you know, both of them, it's pretty nuanced in terms of their policies. There's not a lot of difference between Cruz.
Like a 50-foot wall versus a 60-foot wall.
Exactly. Yeah. I think because Donald has really made this the centerpiece of his campaign, he will build that wall. I don't doubt that for one moment. And I have to believe, but both of them, this is really a visceral issue for both of them. It would be very difficult. I really can't answer the question, who would be stronger, because there's not much difference between there are 2 views on it, and I do believe both of them are very serious.
Yeah. Steve, some people say Cruz has got somewhat of a mixed track record, if you will, on immigration. I know he attempted to do certain things, maybe go along to get along kind of stuff. Who do you think really, and you know, are you in favor of this sort of strong immigration policy?
Well, for national security, you should know who's coming into the country. And we've turned a blind eye on this for 30 years. We had needs in the economy.
Would you export all the illegals?
No, that's not going to happen. Trump's not going to be able to make that happen. You're not going to take 11 million people, kids and that, put them on buses, boxcars, and ship them to Mexico. Not going to happen. The question is, what do you do about future immigration? And there, Donald Trump is beginning to sound a little liberal. He's saying, you know, we got to reform the system. And that means compromise. Ted Cruz knows in the Senate there are various things that have to be done. So in terms of the wall, yes, Trump will build the wall. We were talking before. It's going to be a beautiful wall. Probably have a golf course there and play around before we go.
A little gold leaf here and there.
Yeah.
Mark, let me ask you, I mean, I know you're a Trump guy, no doubt about it, but do you see any differences in their plans, and who gives you the most confidence?
I do see differences. You know, Ted Cruz has tried to move to the right of Trump on this issue belatedly. Trump has flipped on H-1B visas, and he's talked about flexibility. But, you know, if you take a look at the polls from last night, in Mississippi, 50% of the voters supported deporting illegal aliens, and in Michigan, it was 40%. But, you know, Charles, here's what I think matters the most is what resonates is the simplest message: build the wall. Voters remember, as Steve pointed out, from '86, we got schnookered by the Democrats and the wall was never built. That's what resonates with voters the most. So the reality is, regardless of what maybe happened in the differences here, people are turning to Trump because they believe he will do that. You know, on a parallel basis, if you look at the Democrats,
But Mark, I'm sorry, we're running out of time. And you got to give me a yes or no, will Donald Trump deport 11 to 15 million people?
He will definitely deport people. It won't be 11 million people.
All right, guys, let's leave it there.